Hello everyone, welcome to your February 2026 monthly forecast, and happy Valentine's Day to everyone. So, I haven't done these for a while. I'm hoping that you guys, share this video, like, share, comment, subscribe, especially if you're new. I need to get my videos more in circulation. There, I just wasn't getting enough views, so it really wasn't worth me doing them. I will always still do the shorts, but we'll see how the monthlies go. Okay, but anyway, so the month actually starts off with a full moon in Leo. Okay, on the 1st. Then on the 3rd, Uranus turns direct. It's still in Taurus. Turns direct. It's finishing its transit in Taurus and moving into Gemini in April. I believe it's April 27th. Anyway, on the 6th, Mercury moves into Pisces. Up until that point, it is still in Aquarius. On the 10th, Venus moves into Pisces, and again, up until that point, it's still in Aquarius. On the 13th, Saturn leaves uh, Pisces for like, what is it, 28 years maybe? I forget the cycle. It spends about 2.5 to 3 years in each zodiac sign, so it takes a while to go completely around the zodiac. So it is leaving Pisces and moving into Aries on the 13th, okay? Then on the 17th, there's a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius. On the 18th, the sun moves into Pisces, and then on the 26th, Mercury turns retrograde in Pisces, okay? And there is a link in the description box below. I just left it in there, okay, to a video that I did on Mercury retrograde. Okay, so it's a good idea to check that out. Also, again, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, whatever you can do. I would greatly appreciate it, okay? And thank you so much for your donations, your inquiries, all of that. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And now for your forecast. Hi, Scorpio. Happy Valentine's Day. So we'll start off with full moon and new moon. Okay, so there is a full moon in Leo on the 1st in your, let's see here, where do you, in your 10th house. That's where you have the sign of Leo. Okay. Now, your 10th house is your most public house. It's basically like your career and your public persona, but it is your most public house. This is how people view and speak about you publicly, even just like on social media. Okay, so there aren't any planets in Leo right now, so I don't think this is going to be like a really big full moon deal, kind of. Full moons exist to bring problems to the surface so they can be dealt with and done away with. And this is happening within your career, possibly, publicly maybe even, okay? So there could be problems with like a higher up, or if you're self-employed, this could be a client that it's just more trouble than they're worth, or a colleague or something or other, okay? But, this is probably more than likely the time that you may put them in their place, okay? It looks to me, in a way, okay, because there's a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius in your 4th house, which is directly across from your 10th house. So your 10th house is your most public house, whereas your 4th house is your private life. It's your home and your family. Okay, it's your 4th house is where you live, where you physically live, and the property surrounding it. It's also your past, your childhood, the foundation of how you were raised. Okay, so it could be just a work life balance issue, whereas maybe you are spending way too much time on your career or your job, or it's always taking you away from home, and your family's tired of it and you're tired of it. So this is what happens is you let people know that you can't be there all the time. You don't live to work, okay? So then, around this new moon, solar eclipse on the 17th, the effects of an eclipse usually last longer than usual, okay? And there's no telling just how long, but it could be a few weeks, months, whatever. But usually eclipses eclipse someone or something out of your life. So it could be this is happening in your fourth house of your family. You know, it could be somebody, a relative possibly, just leaving the area or just leaving you alone. Maybe they were a real pain in the ass. Maybe they were just always at your home. Could be somebody like that. It could even be somebody from your past that just came back into the picture and just like won't leave. Okay, Pluto is in Aquarius in your fourth house, and Mars is there all month. Pluto's going to be there for like 20 years. So there's changes going on within your home life, where you live, whatever, you know, your personal life. So, you know, it could be a new beginning. That's what this new moon is. But it could be because you've gotten rid of someone or something. And it could be the issue with your career or your job, just being there way too much and not having enough downtime, you know, family time, or if you even don't have a family, your personal life, you know, you need more time to yourself. So I would think that by the time this new moon solar eclipse came along on the 17th, that would be in place because of the full moon on the 1st, you voicing your not just your concerns, your, you know, your worries about you're spending way too much time on your career and not on personal matters. Okay. So I do have to mention, though, you know, these planets have been in Aquarius since last month, so there's been a lot of activity at home. With Mars here, it does make you want to do big time remodeling, you know, not just throw pillows and new dish towels. You know, this is possibly even knocking down a wall, you know, something or other, making room or changing something. If that isn't, if it isn't a physical change to the living area, it could be just the living arrangement. You know, if you live with someone else, that could change in some way or other, or you know, if you have a family with children, that also something a little different there. Maybe switching rooms, or maybe one of them is going off to school, or something a little different. Okay, but this new moon solar eclipse brings something good, new and good to your private life or your home life or both or whatever. Okay, then the sun moves into Pisces on the 18th. Mercury moves into Pisces on the 6th, Venus moves into Pisces on the 10th, and then on the 26th, Mercury turns retrograde in Pisces in your 5th house. Okay, that's where you have Pisces. And the good news here is Neptune moved last month into Aries, and now Saturn leaves Pisces on the 13th and moves into Aries. Okay, so you won't have any of these planets in your 5th house of fun and romance, creativity, any form of entertainment, game or sport, anything to do with children, gambling, speculation. This is the house of fun. And it may not have been a lot of fun lately, especially like since Saturn was here, though. With Neptune, there was a little bit of deception going on here. It is really good for creativity, Neptune. But there could have been deception in romance, or you could have a child possibly that, you know, was lying to you or keeping something hidden from you. The same thing with romance, though, too. You could have been seeing someone for a really long time for only to find out that they, you know, there's something that they should have told you that's like really important and grounds for why you would or would not even get into a relationship with that person. Okay, so that's pretty big. Or, you know, you could have been in some kind of collaboration, could be creative. Okay, that, you know, it just wasn't worth it for you. You were trying, but the person that you were working with either didn't have the same vision as you, or they would just undermine whatever it was you were doing, you know. That's all gone now, you know, so you have like free reign as to whatever you want to do in this house, okay? Also, gambling and speculation. I actually think if you're pretty good at this, but just because you're intuitive or psychic or whatever, we're all psychic, but you could usually pick a winner. And that may have, Saturn may have put a little bit of a damper in that area. So over maybe the past 2.5 to 3 years, you haven't been winning like you're used to. So that's gone also. So, you know, you probably won't notice it right away. Okay, it takes a while for these planets to really kick in or to be noticeable. But they are leaving your fifth house where you won't have any planets transiting, but they do move into your sixth house. And I more than likely will do videos on both these planets. I really do think I'll be doing one on the planet Uranus, okay, which has been directly across from whatever planet you have in Scorpio for about the past 6 or 7 years. I forget when Uranus first moved into Taurus. But anyways, it turns direct. Uranus turns direct on the 3rd in your 7th house. That's where you have Taurus, and that this planet has been here for the past so many years. It's moving in direct motion, so it can leave, go to the very end of Taurus, okay, and move into Gemini in April, into your 8th house where you have Gemini, okay. So you won't have so many surprises, I would have to say, once this planet moves in your close relationships in business or romance or even a friend or any kind of an arrangement or agreement. Also, you've had some really unusual people come into your life that you would not have given the time of day to in the past, especially in romance. But you did actually probably date somebody that was never your type before. That was before. Okay, so the best time to do something each month is when planets are in your own, the moon is in your own sign. Okay, and the moon is in Scorpio on the 7th, 8th, and 9th. The best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Taurus, and those dates are the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, gambling, or speculation, and anything to do with children is the 3rd, 4th, 17th, 18th, and 19th. The best time for money is the 10th, 11th, 12th, 24th, and 25th. The best time for your career is the 1st, 2nd, and 28th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 12th, 13th, 14th, 26th, and 27th. So I hope you enjoyed your forecast for February. Be sure to check out my shorts. Okay, I don't do weekly forecasts anymore. They've become daily shorts. Okay, so see ya.